comedy, pop culture, and everything in between. By idiots, for idiots. Welcome, sinners. This is Sports Idiot Nation.
Welcome in, sinners. Today is Thursday, October 24th, which can only mean one thing. It's episode 25. So we have a guest today. T.I. is going to tell us who in the world this dude is. T.I., take it away, man.
Guy, I don't know this guy. I thought you guys booked him.
He looks like an idiot.
No, this is
aboard.
A fellow chicker, eh?
A fellow idiot in fashion. No, this is my man Devin here. I don't want to speak for Devin by any means, but Devin is a racing enthusiast in the likes of that you are a 49ers enthusiast, if that is a comparison for you.
Solid. Okay, that's solid.
So we know how much you love your 49ers. Devin is in the same vein when it comes to things that are fast, all things fast. Maybe even Sonic the Hedgehog, But Devin, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself and why you love racing and how this whole relationship here came to fruition?
How's it going, guys? So my name's Devin. I've been into racing pretty much all my life. Let's see. We came into this idea because I was a big fan of the Titan Idiot Nation. We're kind of in the same area. Watching the podcast, watching all the goofy antics he's got going on over there. And I was like, man, it would be really cool if they had a racing edition of this, because it'd be really fun to have a spin off that. So a couple days went by and I thought about it more, and I was like, you know what, I'm going to hit this dude up and see kind of where his head's at with the whole idea. And I hit up T.I. and I was like, hey man, I don't know what you got going on, but if you wanted to take on another guy and do a little like racing spinoff of what you got going on, I'd be honored to do it. And so he gave me a phone call and we've been in contact, and we made it happen, man.
Yeah, it's been awesome. Like, again, if you're Miles down here, depending on which Brady Bunch screen is on your screen right now, he is one of the last people that reach out to me with an idea, and Jay Harper as well. Sometimes I get good feelings, and once I got your message, got a good feeling about it. I talked to Miles about it, said, hey, I kind of got this idea, this kind of side project, and man, let's talk about that. I mean, God, what? First 3 weeks, you hit 1,000 followers.
Right.
You already had a video reach, close to 1 million views. Which is insane. My page has been in existence for 6 years. I hit 1 million views once. Facebook pulled the video down, unfortunately. I hope that didn't happen to you, but that's what happened to me.
You had to even say that, dude?
Yeah. Hey, man, gotta give him a warning, man. Things happen. Sometimes you get excited.
Things happen, man.
But I myself don't know much about racing. My stepfather was a big fan of racing. My brother, as well, a fan of racing, way more knowledgeable than me. But when Devin reached out, I was like, I have some friends and some family members that I know how big the sport is. I'm not the right person for the job, but I told Devin, I said, yeah, just let me know your thoughts. Come back to me. He came back with everything but a PowerPoint, and just had this whole thing laid out, whole plan of action. Had all the social media already lined up. I was thoroughly impressed, and I said, yeah, man, run with it. And God, here you are, about the page is a month old. You're pushing probably like nearing 1,300 followers. Already have a video hitting 1 million views, man. You're doing it. It's a great success.
It's been really fun, man. It was like you said, I had this plan. I had a formulation of how I wanted to do things, and I felt like the combination of what Sports Idiot Nation, Titans Idiot Nation had. It was like, dude, like this is a whole nother market that's not even tapped into. We could totally advance on this and make something really powerful, because racing is a major sport. It's a multi-billion-dollar industry in itself, and I felt like it was a good fit, with the whole Sports Idiot brand, and so it's been amazing, man. Like you said, within the first 3 weeks, we had over 1,200 followers. Posted one race crash, and it went completely insane. The last I looked, it was like 930,000 plays.
So
So I
close.
mean, we're right there, and it's been amazing, man. So many people hit up the inbox. They're sending race videos. They're sending pictures of their cars. They're sending their family histories, and just reaching out to us and like, hey, if you want to promote us, here's everything about us, and it's good to kind of give back to those local racers too, because they're doing this stuff on their weekends away from their families, spending all their paycheck on a race car that might not even come home later, So there's got to be a little bit of idiocy in there to have that much money roll around the track and be like, it might work out. But I actually got into racing in 2013. I bought a late model stock car for $2,000 when I got out of the Army, and I raced it for about 4 years, and eventually wrecked it, and it was a whole big thing and money wise. So I was like, you know what, I'm gonna take a step back. So yeah, there's a lot of money wrapped up in it. There's a lot of time wrapped up in it. People don't, when you go to a racetrack and you see them, once a week race around, but they've spent all week, preparing for one race. And then when it's over, you got to turn around and do it all over again, just reset and redo. It's, like playing off football, the same thing, after once the fourth quarter buzzer runs out, you're on next week, man. You got to formulate a plan. So it's basically how it is. And that's why I love racing so much, is you got to be on your toes nonstop. It's adrenaline. Anybody with an older brother has a racing bug in them. I mean, you used to race bikes. You used to, hey, I'll beat you to the door. So everybody's got some racing in them. They just don't know. They just got to tap into it. So I'm here to tap into your racing.
Yeah,
I want to draw that speed out of people. You know what I mean?
So Devin, we have a lot of.
I want to go fast. I want you to go fast too. So that's why we made this whole thing.
We have a lot of viewers here that haven't seen that video that really blew up, especially on Facebook. Right. So you want to go ahead and kind of explain like why exactly that blew up, what the hell happened,
right.
in that clip.
So it was a sprint car race in Knoxville, and Knoxville is big about their dirt track. They hold the nationals there, so it was a big track, a big name track. And so a car came around sideways off of turn 3, and Chase, the guy that wound up flipping, came in, and I guess he didn't see him and hit him in the back and wound up flipping his car. And while he was flipping, when he landed on his wheels, his hood scoop came down and caused a spark. There was fuel all over the track, and it caused a spark, and it instantly engulfed him in flames. Within 4 seconds, he was out of the car and on the ground. So that tells you a little bit about the safety that goes into racing. You got to be able to, in a split second, get out of the car. And seconds later, the track crew was there. So he's on the ground beside the car. Flames are coming up, and then the oil that spilled, or the gas that spilled on the track, ignited, and he was in the middle of that. So he instantly went into stop, drop, and roll mode, and track workers came out, hosed him down, and he came away with a little burn on his chin. So it was
not by the hair of his chinny chin.
Exactly. He flipped about 6 times and then engulfed in flames. So wow. When we posted that, I mean, it blew up. I mean, there was racers, there was everybody, and we've had a lot of comments too, talking about like, I've been racing a long time, and this is my worst fear. And if he would have landed upside down, he may not have had a good chance. You know what I mean? Because you're talking about a heavy car on top, and you got to get it off of him while you're on fire. So it was really dangerous. It was really edge of your seat.
No kidding.
I didn't see it live. I wasn't there, but judging by everybody that was there in the comments, people that were there, it was probably the scariest thing they've seen. So
that's a stressful job.
Yeah. So unlike Ricky Bobby, he was on fire.
He was literally on fire. And there's some people out there that was like, oh, it's fake, it's altered. Sprint cars.
Of course they were. Of course they were.
Those flames are not real. Those are Photoshop flames. You know what I mean?
That's that Knoxville CGI right there.
Knoxville, boy.
Well, they say that until I point down. It's like, you see that little thing where it says live at the bottom? Like, this actually happened live on TV.
That's that Knoxville Hollywood studio back there.
And it's,
The
and
internet.
a lot of people don't know that there's a lot of different series and a lot of different fuel types. And one of the fuel types that sprint cars use is alcohol based, and alcohol burns clear. I mean, so while you see the initial flame, I mean, that's why they were trying to put him out even after he was on the ground, because I mean, you can't see it. You have to hose everything. So it was definitely not fake, definitely real. And there's about 40,000 people who watched it that could tell you that it was pretty real.
And idiots and sinners, you can learn from that stop, drop, and roll works. That is living proof right there.
So kids,
Just go
when
back
they
and
tell
watch
you
it.
to stop,
Oh my
drop, and
God.
roll.
You do it. So,
Yeah.
all right,
South
Devin,
Park may
us.
tell you to duck and cover, but you really need to stop, drop, and roll.
Right.
All right.
So, all right, Devin, tell us, because I have some questions that I think lines up perfectly with a lot of people who are in the Sports Idiot Nation. And so I want to jump to NASCAR real quick, and I want to make sure that I think I know a little bit, and I could be way off, but I want to ask you, NFL fans know that the way the season ends is with the biggest game of the year. All of the marketing, all of the, that kind of stuff goes into that last game, the Super Bowl, right? But in NASCAR, the way I understand it is the exact opposite.
Right.
So is that true? And can you tell me why they do it that way? And like the point system, I want to get into some of that, because I don't understand enough of that.
Right. So basically, NASCAR, they have the Daytona 500, and that's the pinnacle of that's the pinnacle race. That's the one. That's the like you said, it's the Super Bowl of racing, and it actually goes back to the original Daytona, when they ran it on Daytona Beach, the very first NASCAR race, and so they hold it as that's the elite race, because it was the start of NASCAR back in the day. Where
So the very first race was the day, like the first ever was Daytona.
If I believe so correct, it was the very first one when they ran it on the beach, or the very first Daytona 500 was actually on the beach. So it went up the beach beside the ocean and went around to the main street and then went all the way down.
Yep.
Wow.
And,
okay.
I've seen
I've
seen photos of it before. It's true. It is absolutely true. I've seen
and
it.
back then
they
didn't have like today you have to buy charters. You can't just show up and have a team and stuff like this. Back then they didn't have those rules. So they had 40, 50, 60 cars out there. So so ever since then, that's why they do it. It's always in February. It's right around the Super Bowl. I think right around the Super Bowl, right after
Usually,
the Super Bowl, it's right there. And that could be CBS or whatever, whoever's doing the Super Bowl at that time. They get their ratings and stuff like that. But,
right.
So that's really the pinnacle race. If you win the Daytona 500, like they put it, even if you don't win a championship, they will note that you're a Daytona 500 winner. You know what I mean? So it's kind of a top 10 race. And the way the point system works, basically the higher position you get, the more points you get. So at the end of the season, they'll take the top 16 drivers and put them in a bracket. And it's not just those racers that race. It's the whole field race, but they'll have the playoff racers, and then that's like their own separate category. So if like a driver is in first place in the championship, even though he may not be the first in the points, he could still be the first in the championship. So it's kind of weird to keep up with. There's a lot of people that hate the point system in NASCAR because it gives it opened up for a winless champion, and there's a lot of people that
I don't like that. I'm one of them.
Yeah, there was
be honest, do you like that?
I absolutely hate it.
Okay,
I think
good.
It needs to be. I want to get rid of, like they've broken races down into stages where you get stage points and then you get lap sled points and stuff like that. But I'm more of, I guess, a traditionalist. I want, where you finish is what points you get. And at the end of the season, the one with the most points, that's it. That's how, F1 does. That's exactly how F1 does. They don't do a bracket and all this other stuff. And so yeah, they'll go 16 drivers, then they'll go to 12, then they'll go to 8, then they just drag it out. And there's actually a video on it on YouTube by a creator called Slap Shoes, and he breaks down the entire NASCAR playoffs, why it happened, how much money it brings in, because you're talking about like boosting ratings. That was the whole reason it was created, to boost ratings, to have different stage breaks and all about money.
You just did the video. You did the video for them in about 5 seconds. Why do they do
Pretty
it?
much.
Money.
Yeah,
And
money.
yeah.
Exactly.
There you go.
And,
Done.
Exactly. And people who actually follow NASCAR back before they had stage races, everybody's complaining because everybody was spread across the track. There was nobody passing. There's no action. It's boring. Well, now when you have stage breaks, they bunch everybody up 2, 3, 4 times during a race. That way you get more action. You get more banging and spinning and stuff like that. So it's just another creative way to alter the races and get more viewers and try to, be more competitive. But at the same time, you're screwing the drivers.
Yeah.
Because you can lead everything, and then a stage break come out, and then you've lost your position because you had to go get tires, and you're just like, why? You know what I mean?
Wow. I didn't know. Yeah. I didn't know that at all. I didn't know.
Money. It's money. That's basically nail on the head. But yeah, so, if you follow F1, they go by standard. They go by standard points. Points championship.
Yeah. Now for NASCAR, how many make the playoffs? Is it 12 still?
16. They've got 16. And then
it was 12 before, right? And
right.
College football, they're expanding
just
the
like
playoffs.
College football, it just keeps adding.
Yeah. And see, there's only 32. There's usually only 30 cars on the track anyway. So half the field's in the playoffs. It's like, what the hell?
So like the NBA. Got
it. Yeah. It'd be like, what's the point? You have half the league is in the playoffs.
That's ridiculous. So they have that cut off, but then once you're in the playoffs, do the point system still work the same way as it has the duration of the rest of the season?
Yeah,
so it's just a race to the finish.
Right. So if you're in the final four of the playoffs, like if you're it doesn't matter where you finish as long as you finish ahead of the other 3. So you could be 12th. But if everybody else finishes behind you that's in the playoffs, you got the most playoff points. So it gives you a little extra boost.
So they do scrub, like once the playoffs start, they scrub the points then? Is that true?
They just add to it. They do a different, basically like they do a different bracket. And so if you only have 4 cars in the playoffs, you get points based off those 4 positions. So you just have to beat the other 3 cars if you're in the top 4. And then you don't have to worry about where you finish then.
So who are some of the contenders then for this year?
Let's see. They actually changed because of recent events.
I know your favorite driver, Joey Logano, right? That's your favorite driver, correct? He's in it.
He's a love-hate relationship. He is an absolute love-hate relationship.
We
have issues.
I saw a little while ago you made a post about him, how he's one of the most annoying drivers out there.
Yeah, they have a tendency to let him get away with murder, pretty much.
He's the Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah, he's like, it's okay. It's just Joey.
He's the Grim Reaper of NASCAR.
Right.
Got it. Duly noted.
Of course.
You have Joey Logano just kind of squeaked in because he's a Penske driver. So Roger Penske, he's got a lot of money in NASCAR, and he's kind of like, hey, let us in NASCAR, and they get nice little kickbacks. So then you got like Chase Elliott, Denny Hamlin just got in, Ryan Blaney, William Byron, Tyler Reddick, Christopher Bell, and Kyle Larson. And most of them are Hendrick drivers, and Hendrick, they've got a long history of championships. Like Jeff Gordon, he's a big name that used to be a Hendrick driver, and so they're still a big name, but a lot of people don't know is they actually manufacture over half the engines in NASCAR. So it's kind of like, I get it. They're almost if there wasn't there was a disqualification a couple weeks back in a race where all 4 Hendrick drivers got into the playoffs. All 4 teams of his got into the playoffs, and one got disqualified, so he's out now. So I think there was some inner workings in that because it would be bad if one team had all 4 playoff spots. It really wouldn't have mattered at that point because, if one driver wins, the whole team wins. So it really doesn't matter at that point.
We're gonna put the Chiefs in the playoffs 4 times over. Got it. All right.
Well, NASCAR does a win and you're in. So if you're in the playoffs and you win, you automatically advance. So you could just chill.
Oh, right.
You could just hang out in the back and still advance to the playoffs, and that's I think that's what people get. It's like you can put in half power and still advance because you've already won like 2 races ago. So it kind of cuts down the competitive.
Yeah, I could see why there's a lot of people that are kind of upset with certain things like that when it's like, come on, we're here to race and enjoy the competition, and you're taking that out.
Right.
So it's like, ugh. Okay, so real quick, I always want to make sure people know where they can find us and where they can find you. So where can we find the Racing Idiot Nation? Everything on social media, is it the same? I know I follow on Facebook for sure. I've seen it.
Yeah, it's exactly the same. It's Racing Idiot everywhere.
Awesome. Okay, so and of course you can find us guys on Sports Idiot Nation wherever you get your social media. This episode, the most fun way to watch is of course on YouTube. All right, so I want to ask you, this is completely off the cuff. I literally just thought of it about 18 seconds ago. You're welcome. But I got a question for you. If you could choose a character from and T.I. and Miles, you can chime in if I'm forgetting some, but I'll go with the following movies: Herbie Rides Again, Ricky Bobby, Days of Thunder. Let's see. Can you think of? Okay, Mater. Yeah,
Lightning
Cars.
McQueen.
Let's see. Any other good? What's the one?
Kenny Rogers.
What's the one where Thor's brother, the guy who played Thor, his brother is a driver, and he's in a coma or something? What's that? Do you know the movie that I'm talking about? What? That was a racing movie. It was Formula One. What? I thought, and it was Liam. It was Liam.
It was the other one. It was the other Hemsworth.
It was the other Hemsworth. It wasn't the guy who played Thor. It was his brother Liam.
I thought you were saying it was Tom Hiddleston. I was like, I don't know that movie.
No. It was Liam, and he's in a movie where his rival wins, but then he gets in a bad accident, and now he has to I help him. Oh man, I only saw. It was popular. I only saw a part of it. I didn't really watch it.
Last year, Gran Turismo came out.
Okay, Gran Turismo. All right. So I think we have a pretty good array there of some racing movies. If you could pick any character from any of those movies that we mentioned, who would it be and why?
Tom Cruise, Days of Thunder.
Yeah, good. Correct.
Cole Trickle or Cole, what was his name?
Cole Trickle, yeah.
Hey, look at me. Hey, I would like some credit here. That was pretty good. That's an old movie.
And basically why is because Nicole Kidman.
There you go. Honesty.
Yeah, the hottest
there
chick
you
of them
go.
all.
So did you guys see, this is supposedly legit, that Nicole Kidman about a decade ago or so was on the Jimmy Fallon, the late night show, and she was set up on a date with him, and he didn't realize it. He thought she wanted to meet him, he was funny, but she actually had a crush on him and went to his apartment, and all he did was play video games. And then she came on the show and called him out, and he really didn't know. and he was like mortified. Like, could you imagine just being a comedian, like a whatever, like a guy like Adam Sandler or Jimmy Fallon, and Nicole Kidman has a crush on you? Like,
Yeah, like what are the odds?
what? Like, well, what is this?
Sorry, Nicole Kidman, you don't like video games? You're out.
Yeah, right.
Sorry, yeah.
And that's lesson number 2, kids. Become a race car driver, and you could, get you a nice little, cute little doctor.
Like Cole Trickle.
Like Cole Trickle.
Unless you play video games.
Unless you play video games.
Then she's out.
I will say one of the most fun games that I grew up playing that I didn't have as much interest as like the basketball and football was Tiger Woods on PlayStation and NASCAR. I always used to play the NASCAR games.
Sega,
they were so realistic.
That Daytona 500 on Sega. Oh, yeah.
Oh, snap.
Oh.
Dreamcast, Sega Dreamcast was the first home version of it, but the arcade where it's at.
Mm-hmm.
But my favorite thing about driving the NASCAR games was driving backwards and trying to cause as many head-on collisions as possible. Absolutely, I remember that.
Hey, there are grown-ass men that still do that in iRacing.
So you like to combine Grand Theft Auto with Gran Turismo.
Grand Theft Auto is fun.
Gran Turismo.
Some of these racing games now in the 2020s are so realistic that it's like, I don't even want to drive a regular car. I'll just stay home and play this. Like,
well, that's what Devin. That's what you do, right? Let's talk about that. I'm
a sim racer. Yeah,
you are a sim racer.
Yes. Oh, I did not know that.
That's right.
Perfectly segue.
Yeah. And actually, the movie Gran Turismo that you spoke about is based on a real story. This dude broke all kinds of records and was, eating it up in leagues, and they actually gave him a car to, he's on a race team. Yeah, he became a real life racer because of video games.
I keep trying to
do
that.
Wow.
The Titans just keep rejecting my offer, but I keep trying.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm like, look, I've won the Super Bowl 5 years in a row on the PlayStation. I mean,
and T.I. goes to Titans practices. I mean, he just needs to start launching Hailmakers.
He gives out glasses. We've seen it. He won't shut up about it. He brags about it all the time. Well, I gave my glasses to Will Levis. Yeah, that's why he sucks.
Maybe not.
He should change the color next season and then just try to get him to wear a different color.
Well, he won't be there. He won't be on the team next year.
Another team.
I don't think half the team will be on the team next year.
Devin, I want to hear more about this sim racing.
Yeah, I was going to say
we got to get in.
Oh yeah, sim racing, man.
More about the sim racing. Come on.
Yeah. So
more cowbell.
Cowbell. Ding, ding, ding. Really, you got to think COVID mainly. I mean, as weird as jacked up as that sounds, man, because you had all these.
You're welcome.
You had all these racers that couldn't go to the track, man. So what's up? And then here comes iRacing. And iRacing, they literally go, they send a team out to these racetracks and they will scan the track and make digital tracks. And they are spot on. And then, you pay a yearly fee, you get into it. You buy your track packs, your car packs, you buy your sim rigs, you buy your steering wheel, your pedals, your shifters, and you go racing, man. You get online and like you said, you can drive backwards if you want to, but it's frowned upon.
So do we dare ask, like, what is your record, or do you win these things?
Are you good?
Yeah.
I've had a couple top 5 finishes.
All right.
I haven't done any winning lately, but we're looking to change that. But in 2020, I got into sim racing in 2020. And then, so I got into that, and I was mainly just joining the lobbies and playing, just like with football. You can get on there and go multiplayer, and you can play somebody else and stuff. So you have all these different racers, and one track, anything can happen. It's pretty fun, man. You have all these different personalities coming together, and some of them know how to race. Some of them are real life racers. Some of them have never raced in their life. So you get them all on one track, man. There's no telling what can happen.
Chaos, absolute chaos. Are there any, maybe not necessarily NASCAR or IndyCar or F1, but some high-level racers that you've ever not necessarily linked up with on there,
Right.
but raced against on there.
Dale Earnhardt Jr. He has his own league on iRacing, and I've raced against him a couple of times. There's a
I've
lot.
heard of him.
Yeah, you may have heard of him. He was that one guy that did that thing with the beer back in the day. He had that little red car, had like a number 8 on it.
Yeah, the Ocho.
Yeah. So he runs his own league. There's a lot of real life racers that race iRacing. Max Verstappen, multi F1 champion, like million dollar, sponsored racer. He gets on there, So I mean, you really can play with anybody. It's pretty neat.
You play with yourself.
You can play with yourself if you want to.
You can, yeah.
You always win 90% of the races that you're the only one at the track.
90%, yeah, because you crashed the other.
if you crash, you're screwed. But...
Or if you drive backwards.
Yeah.
Right.
And there's different levels too. There's different echelons, like iRacing Coca-Cola series. They're the ones that are on ESPN and on YouTube Live and all this other stuff, and they're going for $1 million prizes at the end. And
the Ocho.
Can you talk trash on there? Like, have you talked to Dale Earnhardt Jr. and just
you can
absolutely
say whatever you want? I punk out little kids all the time.
There was that incident a couple years ago where that NASCAR driver during COVID said the N-word on there and he got suspended.
Yeah, and it was.
Do you remember that situation?
It was Bubba Wallace. Ironically enough, it was the black guy. So he did. He was driving, and it was a little competition. So NASCAR was a part of it, and they had the different drivers, and they're driving, and he just dropped it. Like he was, and then he rage quit. He like shut the thing down, and so yeah, he got in a lot of hot water for that. So
wow, like opponents of mine playing Madden in circa 1997, they would just rage quit against me. Yeah.
Yeah.
And
walk
out the apartment because online game didn't exist. They just walk out the apartment and slam the door.
Slam the door.
Right.
And
that is wild, man.
And iRacing actually has an iRacing rating, a driver rating. So if you're
like
constantly
Uber?
if you're constantly going around backwards and wrecking everybody and stuff, you're going to be on the bottom echelon of drivers.
So
and
it's
like
like your Uber
it's like
driver
Call of Duty.
score, like half star.
Right. The better you are in iRacing, the better matched up you get with actual people that actually race legitimately.
That's good. There's
you know what I
incentive
mean?
like
So,
that.
Yeah.
So you
have
have
crazy.
So you have a lobby. You have a as I say, you have a lobby like Call of Duty. Like you go in, there's a lot of racers. Like looking to next race, you can pick a multi-race or you can do a one-on-one. There's just a lot of different options.
Yeah, there's a lot of different options.
Yeah.
You basically go to the screen. You can pick, if somebody's got a lobby open, you can join them, or you can create your own. So that's how leagues do. They'll start their own lobby every week, and then all the drivers will meet there and do the race. And
cool.
So that's how the leagues work. So it's pretty neat. I've been doing it, since 2020, and so it's been fun, man. There's nothing like it.
I bet that's cool.
Other than being in a real car, but whatever,
Right. When you can't do that, and that way, if you wreck, there's no.
You don't waste anything. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what's kind of nice.
Yeah, exactly. Because there was back when I was racing in real life, there were some nights where it's just like, why do I even do this? I just hit a wall, and now I got to spend all this money to fix it, and it's just a headache. And you have so many people depending on you, and it's just. It takes the headache away from actual racing, you know what I mean?
So I'm an old school gamer. So in sim racing, how I would take it is if you have a crash, you have a digital wallet to fix your car, right? Do you have little side tasks that you have to do as a racer there to build up your money there?
No, not in iRacing. There's no real money. There's no you don't win.
So when you crash your car, you can just repair it with a click of a button.
Yeah. They do.
You're supposed
they
to
do simulation. They do simulation damage. So if you wreck hard enough, you're out of the race. You can't fix it.
Oh, I like that then.
Okay,
Yeah.
cool.
You can't just press a button and simulate in.
Okay, cool.
You can blow a tire. You can have electrical issues. Anything that can happen in a real race car can happen on iRacing.
I was gonna say, old school gamers, you got to do some chores around the town to earn some money so you can fix your car up.
Wait, so do you pee your pants then?
If you don't want to get up, you can.
Right now?
Well, no, hopefully not right now. We're not in the thick of it.
That's Joe
Thing,
on
but
up right there.
I
Got
did.
it.
I did.
This-
I did. Yeah, about that. So
this is Sports Idiot Nation for sure.
Yeah, if what is it? What does she say? If peeing in your pants is cool,
Then I'm Miles Davis.
I'm Miles
Now
Davis.
Miles Davis.
Or Miles behind enemy lines.
So, all right.
It's
so,
the coolest.
Devin, tell us about. So, obviously, we touched base on Racing Idiot Nation. You know that as you know, our viewers. You know, we said like this page is just in the infancy stages here. So you have a lot of plans. Like, what are your goals for this page? What are your kind of immediate plans? What are your future plans or wishes? Like, what's your direction right now? Now that you have a foothold now and people, you're on the map. I mean, let's be real. You're out there now, and all your posts are getting engagement. People are talking. People are sharing. So that's a good feeling. So, what's your next step?
That was supposed to be classified information, but you know.
No.
You
know,
Sealing the documents
just-
here.
You can just lay out some breadcrumbs. You can lay out some some Edward Snowden like breadcrumbs.
So yeah, man. So we want to cater to everybody that has any kind of racing interest. Like, there's so many different series. There's so many different things you can race. You know, there's everything from open wheels to stock cars to jet ski racing to lawnmower racing to, I mean, anything. You know, pretty much any from the dawn of existence of wheel, there's been racing. I believe. I think cavemen were literally out there just spinning wheels. I mean, like, my wheel's better than yours, punk. So we really want to cater to all that. So I mean, there's
pretty much.
Yeah, so we we pick on the different leagues, pick on the different drivers, pick on just anything we can, and try to share exciting race videos, little news, little things that you may have missed. We want to try to bring to you and stuff like that. So on a content level, it's more along the lines of getting people to see there's different aspects of racing. Like, if you may not like racing because of NASCAR, well, there's like 5, 10, 20 different other series that you might like, you know what I mean? So they're not all run the same way. There's different, like I mentioned before, there's different playoffs. There's different ways that they do scoring. So you really just have to find your little niche, man. I got really big into rally racing, just, drifting on dirt and snow. Those guys are insane. And there's a lot of people that's like, oh, I've never seen this before. Like, yeah, this is rally. Like, they don't even do that here. It's so dangerous. So yeah, we want to try to just bring more racing to people. If they're ever curious about racing or what it's about, or, if they're already fans of racing and they want to see something that they may not have seen out there, like the single mom race that I posted not too long ago. That's actual thing. They'll get single moms in these minivans and they will race your wives, man. They don't care. So it's just little things like that, man. I'm going to bring out the goofy side of racing and try to, get everybody involved and try to get everybody up to speed, quote unquote, with the world of racing. I like that.
That's a pun intended. It's a pun intended.
Very punny.
So we got a couple things. I got a couple things I'm
Yeah.
working on. I've got a whole thing. I'll have a whole segment called In the Pit, and it's basically going to be driver interviews. And I've got one lined up. I've got a girl in the Bandolero series from Nashville, Maya Etherly. She's an absolute beast. She can sling this little car like nothing, man. I've watched the video, the last race she had, and it was really cool. T.I. is actually, I can thank T.I. for that one because he's got some connections with her and her family, like you said.
Yeah,
So
I've known Maya's father since we were in 7th and 8th grade. We've had a lot of fun times together, and he's been involved with racing, his dad, his family, for a long time. And I'm not surprised that one of his daughters is racing. Didn't surprise me at all. But yeah, the kind of funny situation there is, like, I kind of reached out to Devin and was like, hey, you have this idea. I know a girl that's racing. I think she's up and coming. I kind of don't really know the ins and outs, but more of that. And turns out Devin was already familiar with her and following her, and he's already lined up some interviews. So it's funny how the Idiot Nation world works like that,
Once
Yeah.
an idiot,
We're
always
all
an
in
idiot.
Idiot Nation. Yep. We're all
but-
in Idiot Nation.
But we are excited. Like we have fully classified Maya as the first official Sports Idiot Nation / Racing Idiot Nation athlete. We one day will be able to give her $1 billion endorsement deals, and we are just a huge
Right.
brand.
She's welcome.
For right now, though, we are just offering her free promotion and every now and then a Taco Bell gift card or whatever we can throw her way. She's
Yep.
cool with that.
Yep.
Josh,
$10 Amazon gift card for her to
But-
use her choice.
yeah, Josh and her father, Josh and I are good friends. We go way, way, way back, and I would trust that dude with many different things. So I know that his daughter is going to be successful in what she's doing. I know he's going to be behind her all the way. And Devin, I know if you
He's
want to
actually her pit crew chief, and
Yeah.
he is highly involved in her. And
Oh, yeah.
it's good to see that that dad daughter relationship like that, because not only is it your daughter, it's like you've supplied your daughter with everything she needs for her dreams. You know what I mean? So it's like, dude, I mean, what better parent? You know what I mean? So it was really awesome that they agreed to come on and do some stuff with me to help get this kicked off and things like that. So yeah, we're gonna go hang out with her on November 4th at Nashville Fairgrounds, and so we'll be there. So invite everybody to come down to that, and I'm gonna have some video with her in her car. I'm gonna kind of go over her car, and she's gonna talk about how it works, because a Bandolero isn't your normal car. It's like a quarter size of a car, but it goes as fast as a car. You know what I mean? So it's like a souped up steroid go-kart on acid. It's pretty neat.
pretty much.
They're highly expensive. So
Believe that.
and there's actually there, and it's really cool too, because she raced in the class with other kids, 15, 16, 17, 8-year-old drivers out there. So watching these kids do what they love to do and love racing and be competitive and have that banter back and forth, it's awesome to see, because that's the future of racing right there. And anything that I can do to support that, I mean, I'm down for it. And
sure.
we wish Maya the best, and we want her to hopefully one day we'll wrap her car in some advertising or something, if we can come up with some
That would be
scratch.
dope.
But
We're gonna-
Nation
we're
car,
gonna-
baby.
We're gonna slap some giant blue sunglasses on top of our
Yeah.
car.
yeah, oh dude, that would be
Yeah,
cool.
over the
Have the
windshield.
blue
Very
sunglasses in the
dangerous.
front coming
Shades
down.
are awesome.
Yeah, it's like we're just gonna put them right on the windshield, like in with Talladega Nights.
Yeah,
And it's like,
Yeah,
this seems
the
a little
Fig
risky.
Newton. Yeah, that Fig Newtons. This is really dangerous, but Fig Newtons sure are delicious.
Yeah.
Her dad's gonna watch this and be like, "Please don't tint the windshield."
He's
Racing.
fine.
Oh, yeah.
He's fine. I'll just
Right.
buy
Yeah,
him.
that's the next song.
I'll just
T.I.
buy him.
Racing.
I'll buy him.
Oh,
a
yeah.
couple-
we got a lot more
Couple
stuff.
Jack
Dude. We
Daniels.
got, not only do we have the interviews, we have t-shirt giveaways coming up, man.
That's
I've
right,
got
that's
a
right.
Excellent.
yeah. I got a hold of I know a guy who does some screen printing, so we're gonna have some t-shirts made. They're actually, most of them are getting made right now.
Sweet.
So I've got a little contest going on, to where if you invite all of your Facebook friends, do the little 3-dot check, click here, invite, all that stuff, and you send us a picture of it, I'll throw your name in a hat, and at the end of the month, you get a free t-shirt for doing nothing. You
That's
did
right.
3 clicks.
I'm good at doing nothing. I'm good at that.
Right. We had an episode
And
about that.
if I'm not mistaken, Devin, we have a few more days here. So it's your
Right.
deadline is Halloween, right?
Right. Halloween is we're gonna post all the winners, and
Okay, so about a week left. All right.
about a week
Awesome.
left.
So there
We're
you
only
go.
giving away 5 of them, because they're they cost
They're-
us money, but we can give out some promos. You know what I mean? So
Takes money
Awesome.
to make money.
takes money to make it, baby. You gotta get
Scared
that
money don't
name
make
out. You
money.
gotta buy that name. You know what I mean?
You have to
That's right. Well,
Love
hey,
it,
man,
love it.
you're off to a great start, man. We're proud of you. I Miles was texting me as your page was blowing up. He's like, "Man, this is amazing." He said, he told me, he was like, "Man, and about a year, TI is going to have the third least largest page here." And I was like, "Well, that means that the plan is working." So
Right.
excited. excited to
Love
see
it when a plan comes together.
excited to see your growth. Excited for you to grow. Join us tonight. Again, before we depart here, is there anything you want to plug? Anything you want to talk about? I mean, the stage is yours, my friend. So if there's anything else you want to take some last minute jabs here, or any racers or just anything, it's all yours.
Well, I'd like to thank you guys, man, for giving me the opportunity to represent racing and to take your brand to a whole nother market. And it's all about helping each other grow, man. We plug the hell out of some Sports Idiot Nation. If you're a football fan, even if you hate the fucking Titans, or sorry, even if you hate the Titans, man, you can always check out Titans Idiot Nation. They're always got a little friendly banter going on with some football and stuff like that. So it's really cool to be in the sports and bringing racing to the family. So I appreciate you guys for that.
For sure. Yeah.
And pretty much anybody, man, we want to try to get there's a big crisis going on. If you have a local track in your town, it's probably under attack from real estate developers and things like that. I live in Clarksville, Tennessee, and we have a track that has a neighborhood that got built directly across the street, and there's now a petition to have the racetrack torn down. And if you got to get your butts in those seats, man, you got to bring a show of force. The more fans that are there, the more you're pushing back. So, we kind of want to take our page and kind of give back and kind of fight back, fight for racing.
Fight the good fight.
There's even a big push about having Nashville Fairgrounds torn down, and that's a landmark speedway. So we just want to, bring more attention to racing and try to help it out and get, if there's a local track, spend a weekend, take your family. It's cheap, I mean, there's a lot of stuff that goes into putting those shows on, and all the drivers that come from everywhere and spending all their money and stuff like that. And you get to see some cool cars and see some action, see some crashes, so you never really know. Any given night, anything can happen. So definitely go see a race for yourself, and then let us know how it worked out for you.
Awesome. So go see a race. Go follow Racing Idiot Nation wherever you get your social media. Of course, follow Sports Idiot Nation as well. Devin, thanks for hanging out with us, and all of you sinners, we will see you Monday. Spooky season. Okay, all you sinners, follow Sports Idiot Nation on TikTok, X, and Instagram. Like us on Facebook, and remember, the most fun way to watch us is on YouTube every Monday and Thursday. Be sure to hit the notification bell so you can be updated when new content drops. Remember, the podcast can also be found on the usual suspects of Apple Podcasts and Spotify. Always remember, don't be an idiot.
Sinner.